This afternoon, we've seen some of the great people who are collaborating with Ubisoft. We've seen James Cameron, Steven Spielberg, Pele, Shaun White, Sam Fisher. Well, there are stars, and then there are stars. And these next stars, they're difficult. I mean, not like Mickey Rourke difficult, but pretty difficult. They actually threatened that unless I did a special introduction for them, things would be bad. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who love absurdist humor, social parody, and comedy, but can't remember where they put their copy of Gulliver's Travels, then Rabbids Go Home, the very first comic adventure starring those whack job bunnies, is the way to go. Here, with the lowdown on the next great adventure of these popular characters, the Rabbid Master himself, Adrian Fernandez Lacey. Adrian? Oh, my Lord. Wow.
Whoa. You ready? Follow me.
Wow. Where did you get Ryan Seacrest's car? That's, wow. That's really something.
Well, it's actually, surprisingly enough, an integral part of the next big Rabbid adventure.
Really?
Indeed. Basically now, the Rabbids have decided, after years of partying, to go home.
Oh, all right. And where's home?
Well, they looked up in the moonlight sky, and they saw this giant round thing, and they thought, that's close enough.
So their home is the moon?
Indeed. And basically now they're going to go around and try and take all the humankind stuff, grab it all together, and take them there.
Okay, they're not very smart, are they?
No, they're not the brightest of sparks.
But
no.
it sounds like a plan.
It does sound like a plan indeed, and I actually have their secret blueprint available to show you now.
Oh, all right.
Ingenious, ingenious.
Let me just, okay, now it's clear to me. Oh, is this me talking or are you talking?
Well, it's probably me.
Oh,
but,
go ahead.
you know, at the end of the day, what they're going to do now is basically the Rabbids now have to find the ultimate weapon to build that giant pile to the moon. And what they've decided to do is use man's most creative, useful, magnificent invention, the shopping cart.
Yes.
So the shopping cart now will be the ideal area to take these little Rabbids, the two little bunnies, drive them around, collect stuff, and build a giant pile. So now to explain in a bit more visual, colorful detail, the trailer, the big, huge trailer for Rabbids Go Home.
For the humans, life is one big party. Drive safely and courteously. Work hard. Then, shop till you drop. But one day, everything changed. The Rabbids need stuff. Tons of stuff. Anything. And everything. For their ultimate plan. Build a pile to the moon.
Something stinks around here. Nothing gets through these masks. Do take a shower. What? Shoot? No, I've got a wedgie. Shoot? Where? Where?
This year, join a totally insane adventure that will blow your mind and help the Rabbids get home.
Ooh, we turned down the AC.
All right.
So you get the basic idea. The Rabbids, they're crazy, they're back, they're going to build a giant pile, and they're going to go home. Now let's get to the live demo. before we go straight in, I've got a few things to tell you, and I'd like to introduce the creative director, Mr. Jacques Exaltier from Ubisoft Montpellier. Now, when we first started working on the project a couple of years ago, we started hearing strange, unusual noises inside the Wii controller. Now, obviously, we sent information back to Nintendo, they did some testing, they examined the situation, and they couldn't find anything wrong with the controller. However, we decided to take matters into our own hands, and Jack has kindly installed a microscopic camera inside the Wii remote, and this is what we found. Now, look at that cute little guy. Now, if you tilt him left or right, he will actually react according to you in real time. He reacts to all your movement. You can also shake, rattle, and roll him around. That's known as bunny abuse, and is perfectly legal. He always comes back for more, he always has a big smile on his face, but you can also attract his attention by pressing random buttons around the thing. He loves it. Now, I have absolutely no idea how to describe that move, but it probably reminds you of your adolescence. Now, he keeps coming back. He loves it. He loves getting shaken around. But it's not just that. As the game is about collecting objects throughout the various maps, you unlock other maps and you progress and so on, but you can also unlock various devices to abuse him, like the Vice, which squishes and squashes his big head. And you have an air tank, which will also allow you to inflate and deflate his ears and expand his eyes to ridiculous globalist sizes. But again, it's not just about deforming your little rabbit. There's more to it. He loves to accessorize. He's a fashion victim, and he loves to wear a little jello hat. Big this fool, I'm telling you. So all that is a lot of fun. You can play with it. It's like a little toy within a toy. But the important thing is it's about your adventure. We really wanted to change things up a bit and give you a chance to play through a very epic, large adventure with your crazy little rabbits. So now you can actually take your bunny, you can customize him, you can touch him up, abuse him, do whatever you got to do with it, and then you can throw him back in your game to live your own adventure through the eyes of a rabbit. Now he will appear in all cinematics, and of course you'll be able to control him. Now in Super Racket in the market, you will actually take control of the ultimate weapons of mass consumption and run along rooftops.
Today's words of wisdom. Work more to earn.
So as you can see, your little customizable bunny. Now you can obviously customize both of them. And now you can skid, skate, rattle, and roll. Drive, slide your shopping cart around the rooftops. Circled in white are the objects that will allow you to fill your big pile to the moon. Now, humans are very fearful of rabbits. But what they do is they'll throw their little mangy pooches at you, and they'll try and attack you with their dogs. Now, rabbits don't really like dogs. I think it's the whole quadruped thing. It brings back horrible memories of the past. But it doesn't matter. They're still useful for building their giant pile. So you can smack them around, you can hit them, and you can abuse them as you wish. Now we have another major foe. These are called Verminators. They're dressed up in kinky green latex, and they will attack the rabbits at any point. Now you gotta watch out for their big belly flop because it can cause uncomfortable chafing. Now as you run around, obviously you can drive over them and you can collect them, or you can scream at them and explode them. Reducing your enemy to his underpants. Now, as you go through the maps, you'll be able to collect pretty much everything and destroy objects, barbecues, and destroy humans' natural, boring daily lives. And when you're not destroying things, collecting things, you can generally just make a mess, which is always a bit of fun. Now what we've tried to do is really give the player a chance to drive around in a shopping cart like you do in the supermarket to a certain extent. So we've created a series of skate parks as well that allow you to just sort of roam free and jump and take off on ramps and do a few tricks along the way. But it's not just about your basic shopping cart. We wanted to give the player more. So it's all about exotic gameplays that you can strap on and pimp out your cart. So now in the next map, you'll see you can actually strap a very high-density airplane reactor engine to your car. Now, there's many of these varieties in the game. You can have a bubble bed, for example, that you can fly across the Miami skyline with, or a giant inner tube that you can bounce off things. Now, in this hard time of recession, the bunnies simply refuse to fly economy. And here's why. It is why, I promise. There you go, see?
Thank you for choosing Titanic.
So as you can see, your still customized bunny is there. And now he's going to smack the heck out of an airplane engine just so he can strap it to his car. Obviously using a Wii move just to add a little bit of depth. And there you go. You have an airplane engine for a car. Now this will give you a new dimension.
714 from Sydney will be arriving at 8:12.
Now this gives you a whole new sensation of driving controls. This is speed now, so you can boost through the fictional airport. As you drive around, it changes the mechanic and the combination of fluidity of the controls. Now this happens with all the different mechanics. If you collect really large objects, it'll mean your caddy will tilt one way more than the other, and so on and so forth. Now this is just a snapshot of the many maps that we are showing hands-on at this year's E3. So please come to the booth and bring out the rabbit in all of you. Thank you very much. Bravo.
Nice job, Adrian. Nice.